pressure like? I know they rely on that quite a bit. What's it? Their length, I guess, is a big factor in it. But
Yeah, I mean, they it's their style of play. You know, they're going to try to extend the passing lanes. They're going to really pressure the ball. They flock to the lane to block shots, and they get their hands on a lot of basketballs and try to really disrupt you on offense. So your offense doesn't always look maybe as fluid as it might against a team that lets you run it, but your ability to handle the ball and handle the pressure goes a long way in being able to put yourself in a position to win the game.
Did you guys have Sunday off after you came back from, Tuesday off after you came back from Virginia Tech, or what was your practice schedule this week?
Yes, we were off Tuesday, and then we've practiced Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll go today.
Coach, Louisville's the only school in the nation with 2 top 12 road wins this year. What is it about that mentality where this team just kind of thrives off playing on the road and in those atmospheres?
I just think it's a matter of trying to be the same team. Every time you step on the floor, no matter where you're at, no matter who you're playing, and it's easier said than done. But I think trying to control what you can control, taking care of the ball early, getting quality shots early, not getting pummeled on the glass early, at least puts you in a position to, in the first 4 or 5 minutes, sort of establish who you're going to be on the road. So often teams, and we were victim of this in Pittsburgh, find themselves down early, and I think getting off to a good start, and then understand the teams are going to make runs in their own building. They just are. Especially some of the teams that we're playing, and not letting us get rattled because of that, and staying together, I think is really important. Probably comes down to having some older guys in the backcourt that have been there before.
how does Florida State use those 2 big guys? I know one starts, but the other one plays more, I think.
Yeah, they're different type of players. Kumanji's more of a finisher than necessarily a shooter. The other kid, he can shoot it, and he's a guy that they flash to the high post against zones. He shoots trail threes. He's Kevin Gelly's a pro. He really has a good feel, but they both play extremely hard defensively. Kumanji's huge. And so we've got to be able to combat his size, make him move in ball screen situations, make him cover things out on the floor to make his job a little bit harder.
Is there a way to simulate in practice, like have guys hold up brooms or something like that?
Maybe. We don't do that stuff. But we just try to do what we always do, regardless of the opponent.
I can't pronounce that other guy's name, the 6'10" guy that is actually the leading scorer, I think.
Kevin Gelly?
Yeah. Is he more of just a low post guy? Or?
No. He shoots threes. He, like I said, he faces the basket. He's got a great feel for the offensive end of the floor.
Darius seems like he's been getting an increase in minutes lately, and his play seems to improve. Do you sense that he's maybe turned the corner or settling in, or?
I think he's practicing better.
Yeah.
I think he's playing better. We've had guys at his position that have played very well for us. So sometimes you're also held hostage a little bit to the guys in front of you, and prior to the last couple of weeks they played better than Darius. But having said that, Darius brings some things to the table that you can't find on our team. He's got extreme quickness. He has an ability to get in the lane. He's a much better shooter than he shot in ACC play. And we have confidence in him with that. But the bigger issue for us has always been Darius making the right play and slowing down. And it's been great to see over the last couple games that's who he's been. And we need him to be that way going forward, and then his role will increase.
Do you think, Chris, that after you didn't play in the one game, I guess, I don't know if you called it a suspension or not because it was late, was that sort of a wake-up call to him about other things off the court, do you think?
You'd have to ask Darius that.
If you noticed the difference, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I think he came to practice the very next day with a great attitude. It's been that way really since, and I think his play has been better, and it was great to see him respond that way. I don't know if Darius earlier in his career would have responded that way, and I think that's only going to help him as he he hopefully tries to carve out more of a role for us.
The other night when you said you think this team now has more belief in themselves, obviously that manifests itself in wins like that, but day to day in practice, do you see a difference that tells you that belief has grown?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an ownership that takes place every day in our practice. I think, our voices on the floor, if you will, speak more often. I think they try to hold one another accountable. And that's the mark of a really good team is, all the instructions and all the accountability isn't always fostered from the head coach. It starts with our players, and it's really good to see. And that's when it's a fun group to coach, when they're just as hard on themselves as the coaching staff is.
As Ryan went through that streak there the other day, we just hit 1-3 after another. As a coach, do you kind of let the guys or trust the guys to find the hot guy in situations like that, or do you kind of point them, hey, this guy's got a hot hand?
They're well aware that Ryan is a game changer, and there were a few times during the course of play where it was in transition, it was a broken play, and you give guys like Kristen Cunningham and Darius and Dwayne credit for finding him. And I don't think there's anybody on our team that's not going to try to find him in those type of situations. And then when the game is stalled, it's a half-court game, maybe he's hit a couple in a row, it's our job to maybe run a set to try to free him. Now, that's easier said than done because the other team, especially when he's made a couple in a row, they're going to be sitting right in his lap. And so you got to be really creative, and your screens have to be good, and Ryan's got to do a great job of trying to free himself. He may not get a shot. And hopefully in those situations, it's because two guys stretch out on him and it opens someone else up.
Both your 3-point makes and your percentage have gone up in ACC play. What's gone into that? And I think 6 of the 9 double-digit ones have been in ACC play.
Yeah, for us, and I've tried to really make sure our team understands this. If we can get the ball in the lane and earn quality shots, we have a very good shooting team. But I don't want our guys to ever be fooled into seeing a percentage. Oh wow, we were 11 for 23 in a game, and now we just play pop a shot on the perimeter, and we don't get the ball into the low post. We don't drive and kick. That's how it has to start for our team. And when it does that, then we can get some open looks.
Do you have any concerns that might go that way occasionally?
Well, when you start to see our free throws attempted, I know we're playing teams that are disciplined, that tend not to foul, but we want to make sure that is that really the case? Are we still getting in the lane? And it's our job as a coaching staff to make sure that that's what we're doing first and foremost, and that's how we're trying to establish who we are every day in practice so it carries over to the game.
What's going through your mind when Dwayne Sutton's banking in threes and there's still time on the clock late in the game?
Yeah, it was probably not the best shot in the world. Sometimes you got to be a little lucky rather than good. But, we want to learn from those type of situations. We should have probably taken a little bit more time off the clock. That'd been a great look 8-10 minutes into the game. Dwayne can hit transition threes. He's done it all year. But we've got to be able to recognize when you're not only playing your opponent, but you're also trying to squeeze them with the clock. They're extended more, get ball reversals. You might end up getting, a layup or two like we did with Jordan a little later on in the game.
Have you ever paid attention to bracketology as a coach?
Yeah, I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you consume it? Are you like, this is where we are? Is it like I can't?
Probably the same way you consume it. Man, just look at it. It doesn't really. It doesn't really mean anything right now, but I just find it interesting to sort of see the landscape of college basketball, where teams are at, how a certain win or loss affected them. But I'll say this: I don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. We got other things to worry about.
Will the reveal on Saturday mean any more than, say, the regular bracketology that's been coming out?
Reveal.
NCAA.
CBS is having like a bracket reveal of the top 16 seeds.
Oh.
The NCAA.
I didn't. Yeah. They did that last year, right? First year.
Yeah.
First year last.
That means zero to me.
help with fans in season?
I don't know. You probably have to ask our ticket manager.
You don't pay more attention to that coming from the NCAA than you do Lenardi or anything?
No, because we could lose every game from here on out. Then it's not like you can ask them, hey, can we go back and do it?
Use that bracket.
Use the reveal, please.
Anything else for Coach?
We'll have to ask how's Adam Sandler at basketball.
It's pretty good. You can tell he plays every day. He's very confident in the type of player he is. Every time he was making a shot, he'd yell out "Sandman," which was pretty cool. It's almost like watching a movie in person. But as famous as he is, as down to earth as any megastar I've ever met. I haven't met a lot of them, but really down to earth. Would have taken as much time as our team wanted. Take selfies, pictures. I mean, he was very, very gracious. So I'm glad he enjoyed his time here and got to stop in, and our guys got to meet him.
Does he bring in a group of his guys to run?
A few of them, and then Cahill on our staff joined in and played 2-on-2, and Cahill was hurting the next day. 'Cause those guys play every day. I don't think Cahill had played in 7 or 8 years.
How's your relationship with Mr. Vitale?
It's good. Yeah, he's always been great to me, and look forward to seeing him these next couple games.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Great, thanks, guys.